Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the New Testament Handbook sent to me from Holman Publishers. I'm very grateful to them for sending this to me for review. They already sent me a little while ago the Old Testament Handbook, and I have a video on that if you'd like to take a look at that and see that in detail. But I wanted to show you in this video that the full set is now available, the Old Testament Handbook and the New Testament Handbook. And they're both very beautiful. This one has a darker cover to it, and the New Testament one has a lighter cover, and they are a matching set. They look very nice together. So the idea is that you can have both of these books for display and study purposes, and they make a really beautiful couple of books here. I want to show you what this looks like and also the usefulness of it. The outside here has like the cloth overboard cover and a nice stamping on the front and on the spine. The back does have a little sleeve that comes with it that gives you the information about this. So you can look at all of that and see some of the features that are listed out here. And again, this is from Holman Publishers. It's going to really correlate with the Christian Standard Bible. Now, it is a handbook, so it's not a Bible, but it gives you a lot of study information that would go along with the Bible as you're studying Scripture. So again, here's the sleeve here. It gives you some nice information. And let's take a look at this in more detail. So also with this, you're going to see it has a very nice angle cut ribbon. And I would say it has a kind of a green color to it. Very beautiful. And getting inside here, a green, at least to my eye it looks green. Sorry if I'm wrong on that, but kind of a greenish color here on the inside for the liner and the end sheet. The title page. And this, as I'm recording it, is new. It's 2024 copyright and printed in China. First printing that we're looking at here, 2024. So here's the contents page. Letter from the publisher. Connecting and completing the story, the origin and canon of the New Testament. So really the idea of this, the way I would describe it is it's like a study Bible, extra materials without the Bible itself. So you get introductions like this, articles. Here's the introduction to the book of Matthew. So this is something you might see in a study Bible, and maybe it's actually taken right from the CSB study Bible. I'm not actually sure. But you know, along those lines of a study Bible, but without the biblical text in this volume. And the advantage of that is, you know, it can just really focus on the presentation of these study materials. Not only have it in handbook format, very accessible and easy to carry, but also beautifully displayed so that, again, you could have this out on display, maybe on a coffee table or at your study, and it's just nice to be able to pick up and look at this information, but also very useful for study purposes. So I'm just going to leaf through here so that you can see a little bit of what is in this volume. And this is all that we're looking at here so far in the book of Matthew. So Matthew, I would say, probably has its own color scheme. And then when we get to another book of the Bible here, you'll see it transition to a new color scheme. But just wonderful information, very visually appealing in the way that it's presented. And I think it's the kind of thing, if you're a teacher or if you're someone who just wants to dig into Scripture. And again, another thing about this, because it's so beautifully presented, it's a really good conversation piece. You could have it in a public setting in your house and, you know, sit down with someone and show them information that is in here, maybe at a Bible study, for example. So you've got some outlines of the books, word studies, timeline. This one here is looking at places in the ministry of Jesus. So we're looking so far at the Gospels here. Again, different color schemes for different books of the Bible. As you go through here, we'll get through the Gospels. Now we're getting into the book of Acts. You have Paul's missionary journey. And again, I think what you'll see with each of these is an outline for the book of the Bible. There's going to be an introduction page for each one, word studies, timeline. So I think you're going to see a lot of that stuff throughout this for each book. And it's just really well done. I really appreciate that Holman has sent me these so that I can show them to my audience. Paul's missionary journeys, very applicable to the book of Acts. And this actually is in landscape format here, so you can see what that looks like. And these volumes, obviously, they're very visually appealing, and so the printing on them is very, very colorful, and would, I'm sure, be something that would be very expensive to produce, especially if you had it in a Bible. But having them as a separate handbook really allows them to do this beautiful printing. All right, so here is an epistle, book of Romans. Again, introduction, outline. I don't see, oh yeah, here's a timeline for this book as well. Key words in the book of Romans. So just such great information. Really great. So I'm not going to show you every single page here, but I think you get the idea that these are just really wonderful tools and beautiful volumes for you to be able to have on display, or just to enjoy the beauty of them as you're doing your personal study of the Scripture. So that is a look at the New Testament volume. In the back here, they do have their sources and the end sheet, paste down liner. That's the New Testament volume. Goes very nicely, pairs very nicely with the Old Testament volume. Both are now available from Holman Publishers. And Holman Publishers produces the Christian Standard Bible, which I've reviewed on my channel, talked about it quite a bit on my channel. So if you're not aware of that translation, I recommend you look into that as well. And these will correlate very nicely with that. But really with any Bible translation that you're using, I would say these are very useful in giving you background information in what you're studying in the Scriptures. If you have any questions or comments about this volume, I'd love to see that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a first perspective.